Hi everyone, my name is Liz. I'm a maker. I knit, crochet, cross stitch, sew, quilt, felt, spin, draw, or whatever else I decide to get up to. Today is January 4th, 2024. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the new year. This is probably where I should start telling you, please like and subscribe. Just let me know that you're here in some way. And you can leave a comment if you have any questions. Let's see. I'm also on Instagram as Liz's Fiber Crafting Nook, just like here on the YouTubes. Okay, last video I talked about tutorials and how they weren't my favorite thing because of all the pausing, rewinding, and interruptions and things like that. This week presented another issue I forgot to bring up. When you have no internet or electricity, it brings your project to a halt, and that drives me crazy. When I want to work on something, I want to work on something. I like tutorials. They're great, especially if you don't know what a pattern is telling you. I have that experienced that more with knitting than crocheting myself, or if there's just no pattern for it and it's only tutorial form. Just wanted to cover the other reason why tutorials are not my favorite, but great. All right, but I have a head cold, by the way. I got these handy. Hopefully I won't need to use them or start sneezing. Let's go right into finished objects. This finished object is sewing. It's a toy frog. It's literally called Frog, even in the pattern, Frog. I'm going to show you the book and then I'll show you the modifications. It's called Soft Animals A to Z by Carolyn Vosberg Hall. I have made the frog, the rabbit, turtle, elephant, unicorn, and iguana. Great on the patterns. So here's the frog in the book. And it comes, each page for each animal comes with the pattern, so you can photocopy it, cut it out, size them up, whatever you want to do, or trace them, whatever is handy. Very well written instructions. I didn't have any problem with it. And I wouldn't call myself a advanced sewist. I don't spend enough time on a lot of the projects and stuff I dabble in. Doing it consistently so that I'm well practiced. Sometimes I pause for so long, like a year, that I have to like re-educate myself on what I'm doing. No, you stop that. Stop that. Mr. Wolfer. All right. Modifications. Sewed him, the whole shell of him, exactly the way he was supposed to be, except for in the seam I put a zipper. Why would you want a zipper in your stuffed toy? Because I decided to make these into rice bags that you can throw in the microwave. Problem presented is you cannot throw the stuffed toy in the microwave unless you make sure the zipper and the eyes and all the parts are microwave safe. You're fine. You're fine. Sorry. You be quiet. And if somebody gets the outside dirty, you can't just throw it into the wash machine because you can't wash your rice. I made it to where the rice bag, sorry, I have to sit down so I can do this, is removable for 2 reasons. One, you could toss this into the microwave and not worry about what's going on with this thing. Toss it in the microwave or freezer. Then re-put it back into the toy, zip it back up. If this, for some reason, from a small child who's sick and is using this when he's sick, throws up on it, pees on it, whatever's going to happen to this, we can toss it into the wash machine without this. Then when he's dry, we reunite them. So heat him up or chill it. Sit him down in your lap because it's too hard to do in the air. And then you stuff it back in. Zip him back up. And you have yourself a rice bag toy. I've done this with all of them that I just mentioned. And you can reshape his little face. This one belongs to my daughter. I started making these several years ago. Over 7 years ago. I don't know how long ago. I take notes now, and I keep a journal of my projects. I take pictures of them. I take documented what I did. I didn't before. And so I realized I just have a hard time remembering. So I just started documenting. The insides, I basically remade the body slightly shorter. No, come here. You're not going to go bark at anything. Remade the body slightly shorter for the rice bag part. If you ever need to wash the rice bag part, that's where you're going to need to seam ripper a little bit, empty it out, and then you can wash your rice bag outside and then sew it back in. The great thing about the rice bag part is it's inside, so you can use scrap. Any color you want, scrap materials for your rice bag part. Or you can get this book and just make the toy as the toy was meant to be made. I notice now that you can get rice bag toys. They may have similar ways about them. I don't know. I haven't investigated them. I'm not saying I invented it before they did. I'm just saying lots of people have the same ideas and the same wants, and some people go out there and sell things, and some people just make them for their kids, like I did. All right, so that is my finished sewing project, or one of many. Let's move on to, notes. All right, this is not a finished object that is necessarily a project. It's a project for keeping my projects organized and flowing smoothly. So it's a project. I finished spooling my stuff up yesterday. Here it is. Maybe I should show it to you this way. I have it kind of piled up, but I did it just for you. All right. I'm just going to gloss over this particular one a little bit. If you're interested in organizing your cotton threads the way I do, or you want to see a little more about it, I posted a video about it yesterday. A little short video. Oh, sorry, I have to reach something over here because I tossed it off the side over here. All right. Wow, that made my hair a little staticky. All right. I didn't know in my video yesterday what this wood stand was called. I found it at a thrift store for $2. Seen it and thought that is going to be really handy for something in my crafting. But I thought it was weird because there's no way somebody knew that we were going to be using spools. So I knew it had a different purpose. I just didn't know what it was. It is called a Japanese wooden slipper hanger rack. And I noted this in the first comment of the video I posted yesterday. That way people could figure it out. I seen it online and I found it to be a lot costlier than the $2 that I paid. Try $40. And that's not counting shipping and handling, which was outrageous and terrible. And I found this exact one on a site that was completely foreign language, which probably confirms the Japanese part. If this is something that interests you, I almost guarantee you could do it with dowel sticks and a platform. I think it won't cost you $2. It'll cost you more than $2, but you could make your own. All right, let's go into it. This is how our number 10 cotton threads usually come. In these, just like this. The thread is wrapped around this cardboard center, which takes up a ton of space. All right. Like I said, there's a video I have out, so if you want to watch. These are the spools I purchased off Amazon to spool these on, and these fit quite a bit of thread on here. Sometimes one depends on the size of these. They are not all equal in size of how much thread is on them. Normal size, this size, I can fit 2 of these brand new on one of these spools, which means you're downsizing from 2 of these to 1 of these, which fits very comfortably inside of one of those. I use this to put my spools on while I am crocheting with multiple colors, and it keeps things from falling on the ground, rolling everywhere, just keeps everything nice and organized. So I like this setup. Go check it out. If you like the setup, you go for it. If you have the space to store these spools, these spools of thread, balls of thread, the way they are, fine, continue that way. When I first started doing this, mine were taking up 4 tubs worth of bins, and I don't have much space. I have one bedroom with a closet that I have access to. The only other closet in the whole house is in my mother-in-law's room. I'm not going to use someone else's closet. Old farmhouse. Just not a thing. Was able to downsize everything to 1.5 tubs. So with room to spare. Go check out that video. And if you want to go that route, I gave you all the information in that video. All right. Next is work in progress. I will not stop mentioning, which is right here, my cross-hatch stitch crochet queen size blanket. I mention it here because I use you guys to hold me accountable to finishing it and not leaving it until what happened last time happens, which was a huge gauge difference and the blanket was wonky and terrible. It was not good. For me, was not good. I'm enjoying working on it. However, if I put it away and don't talk to you about it, it's real easy to move on to other projects and just keep on not doing it and just thinking about doing it, but not actually doing it. So continue to tell you about it, because you guys are the ones going to be holding me accountable for finishing it. So if you don't hear me talk about it, you're going to be like, what about the blanket you were working on? I didn't hear you say anything about that. All right. Next is a felting project. Let's be real. I started this felting project a little over a year ago. I was really enjoying it. I still really love it. I was really enjoying it. I want to finish it. I don't know, brings me joy. What didn't bring me joy is, I don't think it was last video, let's see, maybe episode 4, 3 or 4, I don't remember. It was about my forest friend I had made, and Gloom Shroom, as Archer calls him. I use pipe cleaners, and I told you, don't do it. Don't do pipe cleaners. They're wimpy. They don't have any. Once you get them in there, they're just not powerful enough to adjust. They don't hold anything up. Guess what I used? Because it's around the same time period. Guess what I used for the arms? Yeah, it's not doing anything for me. If I were to start him if I knew then what I know now, I would have just made a frame for him. I don't know what it is. I call everything him. I even call my blanket him. I call inanimate objects him. just a phrase. Make a frame first. If you plan on adjusting or bending or moving something around so it's not just a limp noodle, I would say make a frame first and then build around the frame. I don't like frames because I'm freehanding it and I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just starting out with a little clump and then just adding, and oh, that might be nice and cool. And so a frame would make me have to decide how big I wanted it. I think that's what my problem was. But then I used the pipe cleaners. Don't do it. The reason I never finished it is because that depressed me. Well, not true depression, but it just turned me off that it wasn't working, and it made me mad, and I didn't know how to fix it yet, and I was going to think about how to fix it. Well, I put it down so long that it wasn't even a thought at that point. Here's our pipe cleaner arm. So in theory, you should be able to adjust his arm. It can't really do anything. There's not any. This is what's going to happen. Oh, by the way, here's a little face. Oh, wow. Badly blown out. See his little face? His big old ears. Wild hair. Love how this is going. Didn't love how this is going to... Look how short that arm is. I may just tear off the arms and completely remake them. I think I'm going to decide that's what's happening. And then give him a spine. The body is just a little center thing. Give him a spine so that I can put on legs. And the legs have the wire framing in them. I would like to finish. This is basically in the same mind as Forest Friend, only I'm doing it in felting. I like little weird creatures. The weirder the creature, the better. The creepier the creature, even better. I like everything from, if we're going to go with movie kind of stuff, hobbity things, underground, earthy caves, that sort of vibe, orcs. I like werewolves, vampires. I just like the unique and different. So, part of my forest friends. I don't know when I have to unsecure these, but I'm going to rip off the arms because I think if I just put the wire and then put more stuff around, more fiber around it, it's going to make his arms way fatter than I want them. And I wanted him to have the skinnier arms because his body is, the body is not going to be gigantic. So you don't want big arms, a little thick body. It'd be, I mean, maybe that disproportionate would be great, but I don't know. We'll see. I just create them as I go, but I do know that I have to rip the arms off and probably, most likely, redo them so that I can have what I need to have. Enough about that guy. Oh, no, it's not. I need to tell you where you can get his lovely hair locks. Those were called Autumn Fall FAL by Serafina Fiber Arts. That's where I got it. And the white fiber, you can get that. I got it on Amazon. I think I bought the 2 pound roving roll. You can get it anywhere you want. I happen to get mine off of Amazon. You can probably get it at Serafina Fiber Arts. You just have to find the price tag that you want to pay. Glass beads for eyes. I believe I got my string of glass beads. I think Joann's Fabric is where I got that. The plain glass, black glass eyes. They were eyes, they're just beads. They're eyes now. All right, next is, I told you last week that my goal for this week was to get Archer to pick his sock yarn and try to at least start them. Or at the very least, Archer just pick his sock yarn so I can start them. He was having a bad week, a little cranky, didn't want to pick anything. He wanted me to make the socks, but he didn't want to pick yarn, but I didn't need him to pick the yarn. He finally picked the yarn last night, and he has chosen Peyton's Celestial colors. It's purple. There's Peyton's. It is this purple. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, sorry, that just gets blown way too far out. Yeah, Celestial. I don't know if it can be read, but. And I only have 150-gram skein of this for a size 11 foot. Yeah, we'll see. I think it'll be okay with different color heels, toes, and cuffs. So I'm going with this colorway, so it'll be this. It looks gray, but there is a blue hue to this one. And this one is, let me show you, Deborah Norville Serenity. It is 50% superwash wool, 25% rayon from bamboo, and 25% nylon. So here's that. I'm trying to remember where I bought it. I had it in my stash for quite a while, and I don't remember where I bought it, but it was probably, they either carried it at Joann's or Michael's. And when I say those are the most local places to me, those are an hour and 45 minutes away. So it only happens maybe once a year or something. So those are the colors I'm going to use. I'm going to use, I think these are 2s. Let me see. Yep, size 2, 2.75 needles for his socks. Because I wanted to try out the, do they call them spin? They do. So they're called spin. They're a swivel cord. So they swivel here at this. I wanted to try them out, see if I like them. There's not the same as their normal cords. I'm going to use them, and I will let you know how I feel about them. I think the difference in the cord should be okay with the swivel at the base there. I'll let you know. So I'll either like them or I won't. That's the way it is. Alright, that's all about that because I haven't done anything except for pick what I'm going, my materials. I'm going to talk to you about life for a second. So if you're not interested in that, you have a good rest of your week, and I will talk to you later. If you want to hear about it at all, then go ahead and stick around for a couple minutes. I'm happy to announce we have a toilet. So on our bathroom build, the toilet has been reinstalled, the porcelain floor, that has been completed. I painted the wall so the toilet could go back in. Note, you cannot paint the wall with the toilet installed. You have to paint around the toilet, and then there's a spot because the toilet's too close to the wall. So I painted it before it got installed. Let me see. We just now need to put the baseboard, which is not going to be a board. It's going to be that vinyl. I wanted the vinyl because it's a bathroom and I wanted to be able to clean wash them, and wood was not in I didn't want to do wood baseboards. And the sink. I'm not in a big hurry for either. I mean, it'd be nice to complete it, but the bathroom is functional as is. Everyone can take a shower, go to the bathroom, all is well in the world. But we'll get there. I have 2 more PT appointments this coming week, and then I should be done with PT. The PT thinks I will be. He's liking my progress. I'm geared up for that. I have 1 more doctor appointment coming up this very soon. It is, and I think he will discharge me. This is, unfortunately, a workman's comp issue. I injured it at a job. I'm happy in one aspect that workman's comp is paying for the doctor's issue, because it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't at work. Whole point of workman's comp. But dragging it out for a year, yeah, I don't know anyone who wants to stay on that stuff. Anyway, I've never really missed much work. I've planned things out because I didn't want to deal with workman's comp if I didn't have to. So hopefully I'll be all done with that, and life will be, that'll just be one hunk of something not in my life anymore. Great. And that'll end my shoulder issues. Well, sort of. I'll always have some shoulder issues, but you know, whatever. It works enough that I'm not bothered. This is something I don't usually do. New Year's resolution. I don't do it. I usually just, if I have an issue or goal, I just start it whenever willy-nilly it happens. Doesn't matter time of the year, whatever. since making these videos and watching myself, I have realized I am doing something that I don't like. Maybe it's not bothering you, but it really irritates me. A long time ago, I broke my habit of saying all the time. It was a word I was using when I pause because I'm having thought process. I seem to not be able to have those moments of silence without filling it with something. Apparently, I've replaced with something else. The word so. And maybe since I'm pointing it out to you, you're going to be drove crazy because you're going to go back and go, oh my gosh, she was a so all the time. It was bad. Like, why didn't anyone tell me? People. All right. So, just did it. It's okay to use or so. Sometimes. I feel like I'm using it excessively. The excessive part is the problem. I'm okay with so occasionally. So is actually a word in a sentence, but not as a filler everywhere whenever I pause to think. If I stop and leave a moment of silence while I gather my thoughts, in my head, I'm really rolling around, don't you say it. What can you say instead? I'm going to work on this. Let me see what I kind of wrote. When I broke myself of saying all the time, it was difficult. It was a really difficult thing to do. I don't believe I'm going to be like, now that I'm aware of it, it's going to go away just like that. I think slowing down and not saying so as much as I am is going to be difficult. But I am going to put myself out there for that challenge. And I hope it makes your video watching better. It'll certainly make me looking at it better. That means that you guys will have to deal with some of my pausing. It's how I gather my thoughts for my next. Or did I miss something or something came to me? I will appreciate you not ditching out and leaving. I started trying this, the previous video, so I didn't just start this right now. The previous video I posted about my storing cotton threads. I tried really hard. I still said it. But imagine how many times I would have said it if I hadn't have been aware of the situation. I'm hoping that'll get better. I'm fighting not using so. It's terrible. I'm going to leave you with a few podcasters. Jonathan Dave, Earth Tones Girl, and Nimble Needles. Those are 3 I like to watch. I will see you next week, and hopefully my cold does not get any worse. It just stays as is and goes away. And all of that'll make me happy. You have a great week.